Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday night, it's time trial time, and I've already done my warm-up. I've been making videos for the old My First Gran Turismo, and we've been making good progress. I'm within a touching distance of some of those top 10 stars, and it feels really good to be able to say that, because we are within touching distance. But I just set myself sort of an hour to do each of them and try and push as far as I can. We get to round about that hour and I've just not made it. And I know it's just about probably too much pressure, or probably just about, trying too hard at some point. So we cut the video there and we'll try and do something else at another time. We've got some tickets, nothing else there, is there? No. So welcome everybody. As it says in the title, this is Good Evening Fat Man. This is the last time trial video of the year. Why is this flashing at me telling me it needs to be done? Why is it entry submitted, entry submitted, entry submitted? Yeah, okay. Why is that still telling me that then? They're all done. Maybe it's the other one. Maybe it's that dynamic viewing. Ah, that's what it is, isn't it? Yes, Manufacturers Cup final. Watch race. What it is. I guess that's downloading that to my hard drive. And that will get rid of that little annoying flashing doodah. So yeah, this is the last time trial for me in terms of the ability to do one. I think if there was a new one coming out on... How does one get out of this? Escape. Escape. No. What the hell? Can't I get out of this? Is alongside. Then it's Ryota Kokoban for Mazda heading row 2 with Nabatani for company. No, it won't let me. Happy days. We're quitting out of Gran Turismo 7 then, aren't we? Good evening, Dorian. Fat Man's driver rating back up to A. I didn't realise you'd lost it. I didn't realise you'd dropped it back down. So good work on that then, Mr. Fat Man. Let's reload Gran Turismo. See if we've got rid of that annoying flashing thing. Don't worry about that, Dorian. We all hit Fat Man at some point. I enjoyed those little 5-lap races. Time flew past. I don't know where it went. It didn't half scootle past. It was soon 11:30 before I even knew it. Now we've still got that annoying flashing thing. Anyway, not to worry. Let's go in to collect what we've got. I didn't get back to the Nürburgring, and I didn't get back to the chance of trying to crack that. But we finished 1,392nd. Which isn't bad, I don't think. Still 8 races away, 8 golds away. We got gold at Grand Valley, though. Is that going to chuck that to 93? Yes, it does. We've got Lego Maggiore, which we are still 2:05.869. We're still 1.5 seconds in. So we're still pretty good there. No real reason to worry about that. And then here. Now, I believe... let's have a look at rented. I believe that a lot of people have been having a real good crack at this. I don't know if I've got 2 cars that qualify for this. Nathan's top, Hayden, Fisher. Average Dad, that's Hayden's second account. Back one, Rapid, Bishop. I'm not seeing Sam on these anymore. Maybe Sam's changed his sign on, maybe. Cool. Sammy Snake's there in the top. Look, he's 4th in the top of the tree. Look at that. That's enormous. That's brilliant. It was fine. We were able to cope with it, Dorian. Doesn't matter. So, well, the first thing we've got to do is get that 126.765. 126.765. 765. 42nd. Pretty good. I've got 2 cars that qualify. And these are slightly different cars as well. One's got a name to the paint job, if I remember rightly, from what we did last night. So we'll have a look at those closer. Sam has 2 profiles, yeah, but both profiles were on my list. It doesn't appear now on either of mine. And if you just change your name, it still say the same. I wonder if he's done the decent thing and taken me off my friends list just so that he doesn't constantly dominate my friends list. He probably has. And he's a good man for doing that, so. Rent a car then, that's what we always do first. 126.765. Colour shall we go? Should we go a white one so we can see through it? And then 126.765. There's 2 seconds in it for the world record. Settings, assist, traction control 1, default ABS, counter-steer assistance on strong. This is a front-wheel drive car, I'm guessing. FF, yes it is. Controller settings, we're just on force feedback max torque 8 and force feedback sensitivity 6. Let's see what we can do. I think my Ghost is probably a little bit too close, but well, that might be the other game. Still wheel spins. See how many laps it takes to get anywhere near this thing. If we can get that to stop sliding at some point as well. Volume's a little bit low. Might have to just rock onto the brakes here. See where we go. I know the circuit a lot more than I used to. All very slidey. We're going to be outside, aren't we? Yeah, by about 3 seconds. Don't need to change the gears down quite so many times, I would suggest. We learnt a lot today doing the my first Gran Turismo tests. We learnt about not changing gears down quite so much. Oh, that was close. Wind the car up and get it to go faster purely by using its momentum. The other thing from my first Gran Turismo today was cutting corners is the biggest way to make time. Oh yeah, we lost that. That's probably the next lap dead as well. The other tradition we have here is to do as many laps as you possibly can. I think we did 86 one session it was, before getting gold. Yeah, we're still red this time round. We kind of expected that. I'm blowing that, aren't I? Blowing that big time, just coming through there too quick. Sports hard tyres. There isn't as much grip as I want there to be. To get the car slowed down a bit earlier there. Come out of there probably in 4th gear. The dust is green grass. Very like Willow, yes. Again, it doesn't have much elevation, this circuit, does it? It doesn't have much change. It rolls a little bit, but it doesn't really have any hollows or hills or climbs or drops. A little bit here, I guess. But it's nothing tremendous. Doesn't really have much in the way of camber either, or adverse camber. It's pretty much a flat and open wide thing, as Willow Springs is. But this, I wouldn't say has anything quite as like that that last corner. That last corner at Willow is horrific. Oh, you dumb clunk. I was a good 2.5 seconds up then. I was thinking about Willow Springs. God almighty. So it does have a final corner just as bad as Willow Springs, doesn't it? The next lap is trashed. Oh. It's 3 seconds. I'm never going to get back. Good evening, Robert. Didn't like this TT. Oh. No need to be on mute, my friend. No need. Yeah, the last time we had a time trial here, I wasn't too enamoured with it either. I found it really difficult. This is a dead lap, so no gains here. That's 1.2 seconds out. I don't think this is a short shifter or anything. It might be, but I don't think it is. Track's fine, car is pants. The Renault. Like I say, I've got two versions of this car. So we're going to have to see if this is any better when we go and modify it. But I don't know if there is a difference between the two cars, but we'll explore that today. It's definitely got something different about it. Be a 4. Is that gold? I think it might be. That puts us about 45th on our friends list. And a real slow start to the lap. It's turboed. Doesn't feel like it's got a chug. 126.76. Well, we're in then, aren't we? That's good. Happy days. Gold after 6 laps. I went red again. Just unsighted by the ghost. That's a shame. And then there's 2 laps to go. We got this one because this is going to be red. Am I not gold? Oh, I'm not, am I? 26. Sorry, apologies. Missed that. I did miss that. My brain was saying that was a 6. Second away. Happy days. We'll get that. Yeah, thank you. My own form of dyslexia. Number dyslexia. Read numbers the wrong way round. Not bad for a guy who works with numbers, eh? Hey ho. About a second away. Okay. Got to beat the ghost then. Got to break this one in a straight line as well, haven't we? Do it this time round. Damo reckons the top time will come down a little bit more yet. Yeah, Sam's sitting in 4th place, isn't he? So he's up there with the big boys. But there are people more acutely in tune with this type of test than Sam, I think. Do the same again. I've got to keep the car on the tarmac there. The wheels are spinning up because I put the front right wheel on the grass. Now that should be gold. Maybe not. Yeah, that's it. Happy days. 10 laps we made it. That's not so bad. It was better when it was 6 laps. Take a wider swing into this corner. Thank you, sir. Slid the car into there, didn't we, last time round? From the My First Gran Turismo thing, I've discovered you really have to have, on occasion, a car really out of control but in control to make up the time. Good evening, Olive, welcome. So 3/4 of a second in, that's probably top 35, if we're lucky. Ooh, okay. Let's go and change cars. Let's go and have a look and see where we are. I could have looked at the optimal there, couldn't I? That would have helped, probably. Oh, the optimal's there. 125,949. That'll be interesting to have a look at. 3,053rd. 125,949 will put us around Big Popper. We're 22nd at this moment in time, so there's a bit of a chunk to take out, but love it's up there. Look, Nando's in. There's a few people up there. We're doing all right. I mean, 22nd, 10 laps in. Can't fault it. 3058th. Let's go and have a look at these cars that we own then. Let's go and have a look and see what the difference is between the two. So we've got two. There's this one, which has a little name about it. Let's go and see if I can prove what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can show you. The only place I know to show you that we can see the difference on the two cars is when you go and try and sell it. So I don't know what the difference is and why it is such. But let's just go and have a little nosy. So there's the two cars. The Juan Sirius 2 is the difference. One's got 3 miles on it, one's got 47. So that's the only... Good evening, Silver Surfer, and welcome. That's the only difference between the two. And looking at the PP, the difference on those two cars is purely the rear wing. So at this moment in time, we're going to go and modify this little bad boy. See what we can do with it. It's only got 3 miles on it. Let's give it everything. It's got no rear spoiler. Lower spoiler, that is. No roll cage. No front grille. Wheels wise, what can we do with it? So on the standard car, they're 18-inch, no width, no, and there's a wide fitment. Is that just the rear? No front as well. So we can widen it up with the standard wheels. That'd be interesting. That will be interesting. So there you have it. That's before we do any parts modifications. Not that they mean anything, but we could trigger people. Maybe one is old and the second is from the new update when they changed PP. Maybe. I genuinely don't know what that Juan Sirius is about. I don't know. Never seen that before. So it's just an interesting little thing. Sport's hard as it is, isn't it? Yes. Let's give it everything. Not a bad looking car, he says. I would potentially have to agree, yes, that it ultimately could be a decent looking little car. Not that we need to do anything with it. No anti-lag required. We're just going to give it all the actual visuals, the little bits and pieces. And we're going to lower it with a bit of racing suspension, bit of brake balance, bit of clutch. Not that it means anything. And there we go. There's nothing else really applicable. We could do the weight reductions if that meant anything, but I don't think it does. Right, let's go and see if it does anything different. You know what I didn't do? I didn't save the ghost, did I? It could be. Showing your age there, Neil. Big old papa. Yes, yes. I didn't save that ghost, did I? Oh, shame. Yeah, that's cool. Welcome, Neil. Yeah, that takes me back. When was that? That's got to be something like 86, 87. Wheels do make a difference, yes, because in the science of the game, the smaller wheel size in width will have less traction. A smaller wheel size will have better acceleration but worse top end rolling speed, and a bigger wheel in height will have worse acceleration but a greater rolling speed at speed. So Got no ghost to load, which is a frustration. We should have more traction with this car because it's got wider wheels. Well, it's got wider stance, hasn't it? It should probably slide less. We will go back and change wheels because these are the default wheels. We will go back and change wheels and put a possibly... It's a longer circuit, isn't it? We'll probably put a bigger rolling radius tyre. And there should also be a little bit of science in the fact that on a bigger tyre, bigger wheel, you've got less sidewall, so you should get less temperature generation from the sidewall. Good evening, Lee. Welcome. $26,084. I'd been more annoyed with myself if we hadn't got gold and I'd lost that ghost. That's a decent ghost to have a go at. Got to get it more under control through that. Could have kept it in fourth. Not let it wheel spin up. Now I'm glad we've kept one of these relatively standard. Swine. Doesn't make any difference, does it? Let's retry. Nicole was the original Clio advert, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. When the Clio was first released, I believe. It was the predecessor to Va-Va-Voom. $26,200. 91.99. Okay. Oh, that's going back some. She was on the list. Little French girl. Never mind. She was a proper poster girl. Definitely was. Like this is a Tem advert. Just see the Clio rolling around in the background as she's playing tennis. Gonna lose that, am I? Oh, we just made it. Just made it. Not my best lap yet, but it beat that lap. It didn't actually, it was outside. We lost that just rolling across the line. That's a shame. Was it Thierry Henry that was Vavavoom? The footballer. Haven't quite got the go with this car, have we? It handles a little bit different. We could probably do a little bit more with just locking the wheels up there. That doesn't help. Oh, slug. It was Thierry Henry that was Vavavoom. Yeah. Ghost is currently 0.2 behind. Car seems to wallow just as much as it did with the rental. We want to improve the line into this corner here. Would be a little bit wider, I think. Ooh. If we can dip into the 25s, that'd be nice. Bit slow coming out of there. Yeah, a little bit of improvement. Goodwood's a very, very old track. It doesn't really have a lot of the modern features of more modern racetracks. Oh, this conversation is going to really blow up. Because there's one voice I'm about to hear as soon as it happens. I think. Yeah, I'd agree, Neil. Avoid third gear. Somebody's going to say Helen Mirren. Michelle Pfeiffer for Damo. Oh, you slug bucket. I'm going to let other people chip in. Which actress was your big crush in your teen years? Mine was Susan George, amongst others. Okay. Big Popper? We know what yours is going to be. I'll just contemplate that one a moment. Which actress? Diana Troy from Star Trek Next Generation. Okay. This topic is great for the chat algorithm. Yes, it is. I can't do one. Well, I couldn't do any, technically, but I can't bring out one name. I have to have at least a list. Oh, that's sluggy. 7 of 9. Yeah. My teenage years can really only be one. Definitely a list, yes. So the top of my list. Yeah. Mariana Curtis, the later Scully, Gillian Anderson. Oh, dear. I can honestly confess, I've never seen an episode of X-Files. So, can't really comment on that one, but Cindy Crawford for Damo. Is this 25? There's a 25. Happy days. Right then, so I've got to try and pluck this girl's name out of my head, and it's stuck. My brain has I've just been thinking, and I know her name. I know who she's married to, or was married to, is married to. Thank you, Dame. Raquel Welch. Agent Triple X. See, My aging brain is letting me down. Ooh. So, I'll throw one out there. Patsy Kensit. Primarily for the role she played in the Mel Gibson, Danny Glover series. The little South African political aide or assistant. Barbara Back, the spy who loved me. Oh my. The other one, the one that I can't remember her name because my brain has gone, and it was just through doing laps I've forgotten her name. I did remember her name when we started. She's married to Bruce Willis. G.I. Jane. No, Kim Basinger. There's a late runner from the early days. Somebody's... Oh, stop! I was reading the text. Demi Moore's the one. Yeah. 25,830. I'm going to save that ghost, and then we're going to dive back in. Not into the top 10 yet. Demi was oof, girl. Yeah. Yeah, so Patsy Kensit, Demi Moore. Oh, my brain's doing it again. The good thing is this one is recently single, so she's available. Sandra Bullock. Although she was probably more popular as an actress in a Philippa Forrester. It's the second week in a row she's made it to the list. Yeah. What happened to Philippa Forrester? Where is she now? Why did she duck out the limelight? Why is she no longer on TV? Why is she... Oof. What happened to Philippa Forrester? Where did she go? Jane Seymour. The clothes. The clothes are off, Dorian. Julia Roberts, yeah, definitely for me was not in the top 10. She was just a bit clumsy, just a little bit something else, but Liz Hurley, Zeta Jones, the other two, yeah, they don't really float the boat, do they? They're too far to go. I don't know whether they just don't seem dirty enough for me, I'm sorry. So there's a couple of others I just can't remember the name because I'm concentrating on driving. But I can tell you what they were in. Splash. Julia Roberts has too many teeth. She could probably take them out now and make up for it. And I think it was called Science Project. is the other one. I can't remember her name. My brain is just not playing games today. Daryl Hannah, that's the one. That's one of them. Megan Fox. I was in my 20s when... Daryl Hannah, definitely. I was in my 20s when a couple came to light. Not necessarily actresses, although they are actresses of today. Weird Science, Kelly, that's the one. Kelly LeBrock. It wasn't my science project, it was Weird Science. Yes, well remembered. I like the slightly different Ursula undress. Oh yeah, she was a Bond lady, wasn't she? Young 85. Well, it counts, you're a teenager. You were a teenager once. I should have loaded that ghost, shouldn't I? I will next time round. Im Catterall. Well, there's a name you don't hear often. Nice bathing suit for Ursula. It was her dagger that made me all of a quiver. She had a diving knife, didn't she, that was quite nicely positioned. Princess Leia. I was never a massive fan of the old Star Wars chick. She only passed away a couple of years ago, didn't she? Just after COVID. Sylvia Christ... Holly Valance now. Oh, Neil. Was that your teenage years? Probably was, but does Holly Valance count as an actress? Oh, in blue that. Brooke Shields, now there's another name. Oh, dear. 25764. $1,724th. Still not in the top 10. We're just catching Olive. And then we've just gone past Big Popper. I know we can go faster than this. Home and Away. Home and Away from a long time ago. Got no ghost. I mean, if we're talking home and away days, then a few more come back into. Well, I know what you mean by that because you've answered the question. I asked, was she an actress because she's more known for singing? But yes, if she was in home and away, she qualifies. Of course she does. We've got rules to stick to here, haven't we? Certainly have. But if we're talking that kind of actress, it's lots of room. Yeah, you see, yeah. Even after dating Michael Hutchins, she would have been proper dirty then, wouldn't she? Yes. I know exactly what you mean. Kylie, yeah. See, I don't know if she fits in my list. She was a whole new, different... Because she fits in the same list as Jennifer Aniston. Kind of... I'd never watched an episode of Friends, but see enough magazine pictures of Jennifer Aniston to know exactly what she could get up to. But there are a couple of girls in S Club 7 that met the criteria, and they qualify as actresses, don't they? Definitely Kylie. I don't know, a sister. Sister probably, definitely. Still got no ghost, which is really frustrating. Why haven't we got a ghost? What's going on here? Why is the game choosing to play Silly Buggers? Because I didn't load it, did I? Let's go. See, there's some ladies that would fit in my all-time list that just have to be in that list, but don't necessarily qualify as being in my teenage years. They would have been very mature, very healthy young ladies whilst they were in my teenage years. But I wouldn't suggest that they were... Well, no, they were. They still are. Ooh la la. Again, my brain is playing with me because it doesn't want to remember anything whilst I'm focusing on this. If they're in your dreams, they're acting. Brilliant comment, Norman, for the first one of the day. Thank you very much. It was real. If it was in my dreams, there was no acting at all. This is yuck, says Lee. As in... the time trial or the conversation? The TT. Slug. Did I get that for hitting the sign? Or for crossing the white line, I wonder? Michaela Strachan, you see, you're going to the place where there's a borderline. Was Michaela Strachan an actress? Was she? See, I remember meeting her at the Hitman and Her in Sleaford at Legends nightclub back in 1992, 1993. Reading chat. See, she was a whole nother level. That was a different kind of young lady. She was proper dirty. Could have been. She fits in perfect harmony with the other tall blonde one from The Big Breakfast, whom had close liaisons with JK from that band. My brain's not working. Jamiroquai. What was her name? She got a daughter now. Oh. I'll get you guys to do the thinking because my brain's not up for it. Essex girl. Ticks all the boxes. Yeah, it's from hitting that. Denise Van Houten, well said. That's the one. I was too smashed out of my head in my teens to give a shit. Nice one, Matthew. Honesty's good. So on my when I was in my teenage years at school, I had two ladies that fit the bill. One was Debbie Gibson. She wasn't an actress, she was an American songstress. And just trying to remember her name. Oh, I can't remember. Brain's gone. Thinking about driving. Rode that curb too much. Debbie Gibson, yeah. Yeah. Who was the other one that sang about a granny's jumper? Or she sang a song and she had a granny's jumper on? Very sort of similar, same time. Had a song, one hit wonder in the UK. Went to something like, probably went to #1 in the UK. Oh, shish kebab. Belinda Carlisle. Wow. There's another one. Same sort of era, yes. Any of the girls from Kim Wilde, Bananarama, all that lot, yes. Agneta from ABBA. Yes. I think Neil's lonely. I think this is why Neil's been in the UK for too long. Or he's back in Sweden and this is just... He's overdosing on Swedish blondes. Gloria Estefan. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Yeah, she's got a voice that caresses everything, doesn't it? Yeah. Good looking girl too. But I'll settle for a young lady who, in my later years, came to the forefront. Pepper Potts out of Iron Man. The Baywatch Girls. I never watched Baywatch either. But yeah, Pepper Potts, whatever her name was. If anybody could buy me a candle, I'd be happy. Ace of Base, yes. Another Swedish blonde. Oh, Debbie. Debbie does. Gwyneth Paltrow. That'll do nicely, Damo. Well done. That's on my Christmas card list, or my Christmas present list, definitely. One of her candles. That would transport me to a place of higher consciousness. Going terribly badly here. Thinking about too many other things, one thinks. Come on. Gwyneth Paltrow. Those little dainty freckles on her nose and cheeks. Yes. The A-line skirt, high heels, just absolutely knockout. White blouse. Naomi Watts, why do I not know that name? Why am I missing there? $25,868, that's just outside. You're missing out. I don't remember that name. I'm not linking the name to a face or a body. Sorry, a body. Go watch Mulholland Drive. No, never seen it. Never seen it. I'll need to. Alexandra Bustadero. Who's that? King Kong was a Naomi film. Well, that'll be why. Never watched it. Oh! I watched that apex and drove the car straight onto it. Wow. Donkey. Champions. Guys have got me there. That's a few I don't know. Good evening, Omega. Welcome. I need to take a drink. I'm as dry as... Well, let's leave that there. Nope, don't know that one either. But you're welcome. You're fine, Omega. Don't worry about it. It was taken as read. Not a problem. Jordana Brewster. Tall blonde with two guys in program. No. Now, I'd go for Daisy Duke. Because she was also in Cannonball Run, etc., wasn't she? Good evening, Sammy. You've got a good time on this, Sam. 4th place in the list. You're doing well, bud. Need to delete your Google history. Adriana Lima. Neil's going all... Who's that said that? That's Damo going all exotic. Got distracted by the chat again. Gotta stop that. Let me get back on game. That's why you're not on my friends list. You're on your main account. That's why. Yes. Yes. I thought you were being generous and keeping your name off my list. Give me something to chase. Silver Surfer's had a message retracted. We're getting a little bit close. I get this stable through here is where I'm losing things. Yeah, look at that. That's just terrible. The change down was what did me in there. Oh, he'll come up with some really weird one. Be interesting, actually. The good thing is there's loads out there, so we could all potentially have one to ourselves. That was terrible again. Just making the damn thing slide. Arnie. Want to get around there with some traction. I've just made it, thank God. Maybe fifth was the wrong gear, but I'm going to try and fourth it. Make the gains later on. Yeah, exactly. I get it. Understood. It makes perfect sense. There we go. First improvement in a long time. We haven't really found out whether there's anything special about this special edition car though. Pamela Anderson will never be topped. Okay. Lost a bit coming round there. $25.6. No good. Good night, Olive. You take care, my friend. A bit like Melinda Messenger. She was all up front and trusting the Lord, wasn't she? Like Natalie Imbruglia, she was another one, but she qualified as an actress through Neighbours, didn't she? Natalie Imbruglia. Was that another Home and Away chick? Might have been another Home and Away girl. I'd have done her Home and Away for sure. Bang! Let's go and see where we've progressed to. We haven't progressed far. Maybe just on the outskirts of our top 10, maybe 25. 1,168th. Maybe kind of, yeah, 11 we've just tipped in there. So friends list 24.6, 25.6. We've got a second to go. There's time in there, definitely time in there. Sam Fox, don't know whether Sam Fox does. See, if you've got Sam Fox in that list, you've got to have Linda Lusardi, I'm afraid. That was a rubbish start. But then you're really dragging the bottom of the barrel for actress, aren't you? Grassy stuff, no good. Yeah, bottom of barrel stuff, that. Feel I want to come through there in fourth on that first lap, but you're not carrying enough speed through there for fourth gear, I think, on the opening lap. Trying to get that better. It's not working. Jackie Degg. Not personally. Don't even know Jackie Onassis. I think he means do you know of. Linda will be top of the list. She was in Everdale. Oh, okay. Happy days. Hey Hayden, we're chasing you down, my friend. Long way to go. Fourth, yeah. Even to start the first lap though, it doesn't feel right. That's the it doesn't really feel right. I had to lift there, that was a bit silly. Max Power Girl, a bit like Jordan. Oh, Jackie Degg. The name sort of rings a bell in the back of my head somewhere. That's a bit of a long reach. What was her name? Oh, Priscilla Presley, yes. Yeah, Teenage Bride. High mileage chick, Priscilla. Lost a chunk there, which is a shame. That quick change of direction really didn't do anything for it. Naked Gun reference. There's a couple of ladies' names that need mentioning that just haven't been yet. But I think they're more of a mature viewer's kind of look towards. So Jamie Lee Curtis, specifically from A Fish Called Wanda. And that was probably knocking about as I was at the end of my teen years. True Lies. Was she in True Lies with Arnie? A butterface? What's that mean? Trading Places for Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. That's a film I want to watch again, actually, Trading Places. Never heard that expression before. Butterface. Great body butterface. I see. Yeah. Understood. Know where you're going with that one. It was more about the filth kind of level. A woman who could teach you a thing of five. Never started. What, this time trial? Oh, have a good discussion at the same time and it'll take your mind off it. And this, every corner I'm losing tile. G-string hot damn. Optimal's got down to 25,435. I've just got to clean my act up a little bit and just get the car driving, keeping all four wheels on the same track and make the car go smoother through the corners. A lot less rocking and rolling. Do it, Duckimo. I don't remember that one. The only thing about True Lies I remember is the scene with the Harrier jump jet over 7 Mile Bridge in Florida. The only bit I remember from that film. Topless in Trading Places. Oh, wow. Hate myself for that. Let's I know we've not actually gained a massive amount, but let's have a look. 25,435. Closing in. Oh, we're in the top 10. Happy days. Closing in on where we need to be. 25,6, 24,6. So there is room to make some moves. And we know we're probably half a second quicker. Probably half a second quicker. I've got counter steer on. I've got TC1 and counter steer on. Lee might need to turn on counter steer. Not that you'd think it'd really make much of a difference on a front wheel drive car, but this thing does want to slide. So what I'm going to go and do next is change the wheels. See if we can... Yeah, I'm going to do that now, because we're just flapping about. We've been doing this round about an hour and a half now. Yeah, around about an hour and a half. 116 miles. Let's go and change wheels for something that we can see if we can make it bigger or smaller. I know we're grasping at straws, but just testing it, really. Wheels. So currently, we'll look at that in a moment. Can we change the width? We can. And we can go wide width and wide offset. So we can change both. So we've got wide width tyres and wide offset. 17, 18 and 19. So we'll take the 17s to start with. Look at that. She looks really aggressive. So we'll see if that makes any massive change. I don't think it'll make a massive change. It should make some handling difference, one would think. We've now got wider stance and wider tyre. You watch, I bet it starts chunking. And we have the special edition car, whatever that means. Never take your mind off the boobs and beavers and concentrate on the track. I think you're right. I think that's what needs to happen. So we're over a second inside. I'd like to be in the top 1,000. what I'd like is for the car to be less slidey into the corners. That wish didn't come true, did it? I think that came with my braking application. I think I braked too hard. Probably didn't allow the wheels to roll and I locked them up. That was probably the real situation. Oh, stomping, stupid doofus. Six and a half thousand RPM is where we were changing up at. I went to 17, so a smaller wheel size than standard, and I also went to wide and wide. If you're on standard, you only get the wide width, wide stance. If you go and change the wheels to something else, you get wide. So you get the option to have the wide offset and the wider stance, which is what I just did. But I'm on 17, so I went the size smaller. But I think I need to go to the size bigger, which would give us more road in radius for speed. Rock Dundee. Yeah, what was her name? She was a bit of a long reach in terms of cougar mama type lady. You don't mean the one in the bar that Mick had to check out, do you? You mean the newspaper lady from the US? Yeah. First lap with counter assist, got gold. Good man. That felt so much smoother until I cocked that corner up. I think you've got every chance, Sam. I'm going to change wheels, I think, to the 19s rather than the 17s. Though I anticipate the 17s would have less slide. I think the 19s will be more slidey, but I'm trying to restrict that, but I think that's down to me and braking. The slide is caused by me dumping on the brakes rather than actually anything else. Fifth gear seemed to be clearly the wrong gear for there, needed to be fourth. Linda Hamilton was a hottie in Terminator. You can give us a tip, Hayden. Fire away. We're at that stage. I've yet to link the lap together to try and find the balance with the wheels. But as soon as I can get it to the point where I'm driving smoothly and applying the throttle at the right time and being in the right gear for the right corner, we'll start to be able to put this together and go somewhere. Aero parts do not seem to make a difference in terms of speed, so if you put aero on you don't seem to lose top end, but maybe you do. I haven't tried that. I've just put the wing on, but I don't feel as if I've lost anything. I do feel I need to be gentler on the brakes. I do feel I'm tipping into the you slug bucket. Good night, Norman. You take care. Small whiskey it is. I've put the front aero on, side aero, rear wing, but haven't really put a lap together enough to make it happen. 10 p.m. Five days till I go away on holiday now. Five days till my birthday. Although we did celebrate the birthday last night with getting the cake from Gran Turismo. We've got 2 streams officially left. We've got Tuesday night and Thursday night. Tuesday night is the final of the GR4s. Waiting for that tip from Hayden. Blew it there. And then Thursday night will be open lobby night, party night. He's just lubing it up, I bet he is. That's the small tip. Or the big tip. Yeah. Here we go. After the first straight section, you turn right and drop to 5th for the next left-hander. Stay in 5th, don't drop to 4th. Yes, that's something I was exploring, Hayden, and I just haven't got the acceleration because I'm not getting the corners right. I'm not flowing in. So, understood, and that is something I will be progressing and trying. Yes, I've been trying to work on that, but I've just been coming out of that first left-hander really slowly and not being able to make 5th work. I did it once and just didn't get the gains, so we'll try. That might be worth 1/4 of a second on its own, definitely. You're keeping it 5th here. Yeah, that fourth gear just really checks the car nicely. Maybe if I go back to fifth after fourth just to start. I got the curb angle wrong there, didn't I? Give me the whole lot, Sammy. Once the tip goes in, surely the rest's just easy. Biggest bit's in. Don't know. Let the gears run out too. Rev it out more rather than changing. I haven't found. Ooh, I haven't found the dead point yet. No, not enjoying that. I'm going to change the wheels. Once you pass the shroom, it's easy set. Yeah. I'd agree, kind of thing. We're just at that point where we're thrashing laps a little bit. Let's change to the 19s. See if we can get something to happen with them. No, fully understand. The gear changes are your worst enemy in this. They do slow you down, and it's a slow response gearbox, isn't it? Thank you for the subscription, Florian. Much appreciated. So we know which wheels we're on. We're going to change to these ones. We're going to go 19 this time. Wide, wide. See what happens. One of the my first Gran Turismo levels today, I managed to get it done in just 2 gears, third and fourth, and it felt really, really good to get it right and get the power down and have the car grip. Oh, I've gone in the wrong place. Grip and drive and be reactive and responsive in the higher gears. It was really good to drive. Felt really good getting it right. And oil, yeah, that's probably worth a good check actually while we were there, wasn't it? I've only done 40 odd mile in this one though, so it shouldn't need oil. We'll change it anyway. Don't know if that'll be the braking oil we're taking out, won't it? Yeah. It's a good looking car. Papa, Nico. So, let's see if there's a major difference with the 19s on. I am hoping for higher top speed, but I think it will slide more. I think it will definitely slide just a little bit more. I'm not so sure that it'll accelerate as fast. I'm going to 6,500 RPM. That felt like it was just on the very limit. So slow to accelerate from there. It's 6,500 is too far. Oh, was trying to do the 60 laps in Sabuki earlier. Impossible without the engine swap. It's a pig to get to handle in under 610. You aware of any glitches in that tune? Give me 5 minutes. In fact, let me quit out. Let me show you my tune now. It's I know it's an aside and it's a little bit different, but I'm prepared to help anybody that wants to help, that wants help. Let's have a look at my tune. Do you want the engine swap tune or the no engine swap? Do you want the engine swap? Let's have a look. Why can't I get out of this? Let me out. Let's have a look. Because I know there's a couple of things in that tune that are a little bit interesting. He wants engine swap. Engine swap. Tried without, can't get 60. Okay. So change car, manufacturer, Mazda, innit? Mazda. Mazda. And I need to then find which one's my engine swap. Well, that's 205, 238, 206. It's going to be that one. Is that the engine swap? Let me just double check. Managed to get a lap like into the 56s. They're probably late 57s. I went Nissan. Why did I do that? So is it that one, the engine swap? Ah. We'll be alright in a minute. We'll have got all three to the top of the list and then we'll find out what's what. What? Why have none of them got the engine swap? I know I've got the engine swap. There it is. 337. I've got 4 of them. Who'd have thought? I've got 4 of them. Who cares? So the biggest things on this one, I guess, are what tyre you run. If you run the hard tyre or run the soft tyre, I guess you're going to cut your power, aren't you? So you're looking for a glitch. I'm running 200k on the ballast, and both my outputs are 70-70. So, not running the turbocharger, but you can run the turbo. Although that's worth an absolute chunk of power. Have I got... Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, so it's got to be hards then. So there's no turbo unless you can't cut the power anymore. So the only other way to run the turbo is to run the non-engine swap and run the turbo. Hey Onzo. Onsno. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the channel. So that'll be my set. And Aero is what it is because it's a touring car and you can't change anything. I haven't fettled with this since the last update because it's a little while since I've did it. But what's on the right hand side? There's nothing extra. So yes, that is the actual thing. It's the other page. It's the other thing. Is whether you need to run the racing brake system. That's the only place where I've found on this one whether you can actually find 10 pp. It's the other page. Do you mean this one? No, you're in sports hards with this setup. Huh? But that is the only bit. That's the only bit that gives you... It's racing tyres, isn't it, for this car? It is racing tyres. The delay on the stream. Yeah, so the only bit that's the glitch is the brakes. Whether you can get away with running sports or normal, because that gives you enough PP to mess with 10. You get 10 PP to mess with. If you can make it work on the other brakes, that's where you've got that little bit. Is the suspension changeable as well? Yeah, you've got a little bit of PP there. Yeah. Racing Hards, that's the one. Yeah. So if you're running sports normal and running sports brakes and normal brake pads, that's where you can get a little bit of leverage to allow you to get that little bit more out of it. But it's not a massive amount. And that's the only bit I've found that gives you anything. There isn't a position on the weight which can really help you to find a glitch. There isn't a massive bit. Because you can drop 10 kilo out. But for the sake of the brakes, I don't know whether that's enough for you. And then you could possibly try something with the torque settings. I would normally run 555, but I've found a bit more acceleration there. But I'm nowhere near the 60 laps. I'm still stuck on the 57. I'm not pushing anywhere near that. But I wouldn't suggest 12 kilograms of weight is going to make a massive amount of difference. I would suggest more often that, are you going to get more power out of it? I don't know. Let's have a look. 342. No. I wouldn't suggest that at all. There isn't a massive amount. More predictable setup, yeah. Yeah, if you can just rock those laps and roll those laps, get through that first lot of rain without having to change the tyres. Yeah. Maybe the brakes is where it works because of the understeer. So if you were to drop to the lesser brakes, sports, normal, sports and normal, because I know of people that are running the sports and normal, it'll probably smooth it out a little bit and make it a lot less aggressive in the wet. Maybe. Untried, untested. Don't know. But I hope that can help. I was hoping to find something in the... shifting the weight front to back might help tremendously as well. Trying to keep it as 50-50 as much as possible, I guess. Yeah, see what you can do. Oh, needs to change car, that one. We've gone big tyres, haven't we? That's what we've just done. But it's... I do like that test. It's human comedy. It rocks my world. It's what I live for. I do like the human comedy. I could lose hours in that. Change the tyres, which helped. Oh, changing the wheels and tyres. Give you a bit of width, bit of stance. I guess there is a bit of a change there as well, isn't there? Wide will always help. You don't get too many things you can change on the touring car variants. They don't actually give you a massive amount to play with. They're already set up for racing, so all the things like frame stiffening, body lightening, they're already done. Hang on a second. Think you're still popular? Had 8 to 12 people watching earlier. I've got 23. How the hell's that working? When I was doing it, it was good for me. Over subs now, Jim. YouTube famous. I've had a real rough time of subscribers recently, and I don't mean that in a biblical sense. Over the last 3 months, I've just shed subscribers every day. I've come on, and the number's gone down. But YouTube keeps sending us messages saying we're clearing out dead accounts and stuff, and that doesn't help me. But we're getting there. We're approaching the 4,000 mark. Oh, flipping hell. We're approaching the 4,000 mark, which is over 100. Oh, you're over 100. Well, good on you, man. Subscribers are hard to come by, man. Yeah, they are. They are. It's hard work to balance a job and this and do all this and keep it interesting and keep people watching. And well, you know that. You'll find that. I'm probably just about to have the worst ever 2 weeks off. You shouldn't have time off in October, Christmas or Easter. That's when you shouldn't have time off as a YouTuber. I'm having next 2 weeks off because my missus has had a torrid time. Yeah, my missus has had a torrid time, so she needs a break. We're going to try and give her the holiday of a lifetime. One that she can kick some of her bucket list off. You know, whoever thinks about it and wants to do it has probably never driven coast to coast USA. So we're going to do half of it. We're going to take her for what she wants, a steak in Texas. To go and see the Hoover Dam. Go and see Monument Valley. Etc. And we'll make some good tunes for the car stereo as we go. Nice soft top car in the sunshine. That's what she'll be happy for. So bit of winter sunshine will make her happy. Bit of desert. GT8 will boost the channels. Yes, it should do, shouldn't it? When GT8 comes along and we start putting new content on, and you get the growth from that new content, because they'll always get new players. Some people will have skipped GT7, won't they? And you'll get all the Xbox players who want something different for a while. I think these 19s are horrible. Human comedy soft for 2029. Ooh, it's a bit of a long way off, isn't it? Never mind. We got Wreckfest 2 coming out in the spring, summer. I'm going to change to 18-inch on the wides. I haven't improved anywhere of late. Alright though, it's 10:30. Got time, got an hour and a half. Go that one. 18-inch wide. I tried the smallest wheels, they felt good actually. We're just trying the different sizes now. We will go to the small ones. We will do. The smallest ones will give us the best acceleration, probably more wheel spin. But I was looking for the bigger ones to give us that element of rolling radius kind of thing. Better speed, better consistent speed at higher speed. They roll better, don't they? Bigger wheels. But we'll give this 5 minutes on these. Then we'll go to the smallest wheels, of course. We will do it. One set at a time. Then we'll try and concentrate. We'll try and have a look. Try and put in a decent lap with a ghost. We had 24 people watching then. That was a heads up. But this is the next corner is where I'm losing most of my potential speed. Potential pace for the lap. I'm not getting it right at all. And this one here is the tricky one to keep the pace. The advice is to keep it in 5th. I used 4th just to try and check it, and that's where we seem to lose the pace. I think I'm braking too hard. I think that's where my problem is. I think I'm activating the ABS. That's what's causing the car to slide a bit. Stepping on the brakes too hard and therefore triggering the ABS. The car's sliding already. And therefore the ABS is then cutting in and out. But I can't look down. I'm not able to look down and see, because if I take my eyes off the track, it just disappear off the circuit. So I can't see that ABS indicator and the braking thing. I don't have enough eyes to do it. I don't want to keep chopping and changing settings whilst I'm just getting used to a setup. So we've got an hour and a half. We will do it. I also don't want to just try it on a whim and a prayer. Week might give us something. Oh, come on, Widow. You can do better than this. Car just slides for fun. Smaller wheels it'll be then, and weak ABS next. I'm trying not to press the brakes too hard. I'm miles behind. Yeah, not having fun at this time. And the game won't go fast enough for me to get out and make the changes. That's a real sign of irritation, that is. The demand for pressing the buttons multiple times, saying, come on, move, get on. It is irritating quite a lot. Probably need to go to the gents as well. Smallest size wheels, wide. And I will have quick nip to the gents because I'm bursting, I think. Talk about girl singers. Oh, let me see if I can remember a name. One sec, I'll be back. Forgive me, I had to go. Rachel Stevens. You could try no traction control and turn ASM. ASM. Now, the last time somebody mentioned ASM, will bring your ghost in closer. Don't know what bringing my closer in would do. I just run over it when I get closer. Let's try one or two things. No TC. ASM. Jessica Simpson. Susie Quattro. Rachel Stevens. Cheryl Cole. So one thing at a time. We've just changing from big wheels to small wheels, or bigger wheels to smaller wheels. The other one was changed to weak ABS to try and see if that does anything. Then we can turn on ASM, see if that works. Did that work for you, Hayden? Your fastest time. Did you have ASM on? Melanie Blatt, All Saints. Wow. There's no ghost. Pisses me off. Cheryl Tweedy. The old goat, yeah, definitely. Cheryl Cole. I'm sure I set ghost. Good call, Ken. There we go. Understood, thank you. Tried to do the fifth gear thing, it was all over the place. Brakes feel much better. Yeah, you can load your personal ghosts. You can have up to 2. Screwed this lap up. Belinda Carlisle again. Oh, who was the chick that wore the cat suits? Canadian lass. I feel like a woman, do 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 do. Going out tonight, feeling alright. Whatever it was. Sinead Twain, that's the one. I won't do that singing again, I apologise. Car drives so much better on the smaller wheels, it really does. Just got more traction in through the corners. The sidewalls with a bit more flex gives it more grip on the track. It allows me to keep. And the brakes are much better on weak ABS. I can at least put a lap in. Sorry Damo, apologies. I'm usually much better and more my singing voice. That don't impress me much, absolutely. Yeah, Damo's not impressed. You've got to have confidence though to be able to sing like that on a live YouTube stream though, haven't you? And that shows how much confidence I've got. You know, I'm alright at that kind of thing. I'm not a karaoke guy, by the way. Not by any means. I'll tell you this. If we're not talking about singers, fittest drummers, Shania Twain's drummer, oh my lord. Oh yes. I'd have a sore weekend after that. Not just a weekend, a week, everything. Shania Twain's drummer is something else. Ooh, the cores. Just one of the cores. Would you not go for the cheeky girls as well, just to make up that lovely fivesome? If a threesome was ever out of reach, that fivesome is never going to happen. Robert Palmer's all-female backing band. Damo's got good confidence to take them on. Absolutely, he says. The look of the Irish should go for it as well. Didn't quite get on the gas. in time. They're the wrong type of dreams, though. Especially at this age now. You get a rude awakening when you wake up. Not the kind of rude awakening you want. Your missus says you were talking in your sleep again. Who's Andrea? Who's Rachel? Who's Cheryl? Don't know. Don't know. Can't remember. And what did they have to stop? No, I told them not to stop. Etc, etc. There's an improvement. First time in a good hour. Smaller wheels it is then. ABS weak. The smaller wheels are the one to have. Oh, we went red. Nancy Sinatra. Oh, that's going. You're going back to your teenage years, aren't you, Silver? I need a drink. We're going to use the rest of this lap to warm down to that. What did we beat that by? That was only a tenth of a second, wasn't it? Catherine Jenkins. No. I can't remember a Catherine Jenkins. She never occurred in any dreams that I remember. Catherine Jenkins. No. Coming across the line with a blue up arrow is always good. Opera singer Welsh. I'd have got the Welsh bit. Cerys Matthews. Bloomin' hell, yeah. Bang tidy she was. I can hear her voice singing that song now. You're almost 26 dead. Well, that's alright. That'll get you in the top 1500, somewhere thereabouts. Ooh, slidey, slidey. Carried a bit too much speed there. Oh, you slug. If I take the red sign out... Ah. I bet you we did. That's exactly the song I was singing in my head, actually. Oh So Quiet, wasn't it, they did? Sharon Den Adele. No. Baby, it's cold outside. That's the one they did, yes. It's oh so quiet. Didn't Robbie Williams try that one with Tom Cruise's ex-missus? Yeah, it's a bit suggestive, isn't it, that song? Or it can be. I think that's what Robbie Williams was after with that young lady. 2/10 down. Lulu. Popper hasn't come in. We haven't heard the suggestions from the big Popper. We've lost so much time through this lap, it's untrue. Which song would that have been? Papa Uniform Sierra Sierra Yankee. I'm going to take that sign out, because the next lap I can actually use that line and have no sign to worry about. Not worried about knocking that sign over now. I'm just putting some practice laps in and we'll go for the big one. Yeah, Dorian taught him that last night. Still half a second down. Terrible. Right, come on. Again, I'm just singing that in my head, Vanessa Paradis, Joe Lataxi. That's in my head right now. Same as Ness and Dormer. 7 seconds, or 7 seconds away, whatever it was. 7 seconds away. Just as long as I stay, I'll be waiting. Whatever song that was. Again, I've just mullered another record, haven't I? A good one from your memory that you're never going to be able to listen to again. Lots of red laps. If you're on the red lap drinking game, you'll be on to another beer very soon. There's another one. A 25.4. We're finding it. Dual controller being disconnected. Charge the battery. That's this one. Be wasted. That might be Thursday night for me. I've got 20 bottles of real beer in a fridge downstairs from the LAN party night, and it's about to go out of date. I've got to get that drunk. Even though I shouldn't be drinking, I'll just add some lemonade and water it down. But morning shift for Dorian. Oh. Nervy Neris Hughes telephone man. Neris Hughes, there's another one. Oh, shish kebab. Why would I hit the inside apex of there? Let's go and save this anyway. What's the optimal? Have we got a 24 optimal yet? 25.3. We're 642nd. We're up to 8th. Oh, happy days. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, phone's gone crazy. Happy days. So we're up to 8th, 25.4. So any sort of incremental gains now will really just push us up, won't they? Nathan's gone on leaps and bounds, 24.6 now. You've been chasing Sam's... You forgive the phrase. Where's Lee got to? 26 dead, did you say? Neo Yami's there, 26.0, 23rd. 25.4. I'd like to be sort of 25-ish. 25.1, 25.2. I think we've got that in us. I think we do. I'd like to be top 500, definitely. We've got one more hour of the last Sunday night for 2024. Oversteering it, you wouldn't want to do that in a race. You just cook your tyres to death. Probably the same here. I'm probably overheating my tyres. Just slid it. Yeah. Let's start again. Don't know what happened there. Don't want to stay really canted over on my front tyres. I don't really want to be turning and accelerating quite as much as that was that last lap, so we might have come through there a little bit slower this time. Try and be a bit more under control here. Damo says you need to start braking at the marshal post. Change down while thinking about the marshal post. I don't know of a marshal. Is there a marshal post down there? Let me have a look next time we go down there. Let's see if I'm making... Maybe I'm braking way too late. Because the old adage from update 1.49 is to brake earlier. We're red. But no, we're blue. I'm blue. Yep. There's a marshal post there. One there. Is it this one? Yeah. Being a front wheel drive car, it doesn't really help much either. But it seems to be the fastest way around the corner. Especially when there's no tyre wear on this kind of test. This will be a 25.6 or something, 25.7. There it is, 25.7. We've got a good clock time now. See if we can get somewhere near. Came through in 5th and it worked. Need to try and be bang on here. Too much slide, maybe. Shish kebab. Ah, that was gonna be a 25.2. That was gonna be a 25.2. I just got it wrong off that last right-hander. That was going to be a good lap. I'm used to making all that kind of mistakes, but the good thing is the 5th gear thing worked round here and we gained nearly half a second by making that work. I've got to look for a marshal's post. I don't have any braking markers at that end of the circuit, you know. I just brake off sense. But great input. Marshal box before the chicane. Yeah, I go off mental positions and .412, that's a faster lap. Without even blooming trying. Try and make that fifth gear work again. Oh, a bit sideways. Sideways, slideways. It's on the left side underneath the stand. Oh, I don't know where to look. Let's see. Made the same mistake there. Oh, you thumper. That gives me a restart, doesn't it? I can definitely get down to 25.2. Definitely. The 25.2 looks very possible. No. Oh, it's in the shadow. I'd never seen it. Never seen that marshal post before. Didn't even know that was there. It really isn't in my peripheral vision or range of sight. That is way out the way. Oh, for whatever reason, she's all over the show. We're just going to have a 10 laps or so now where we can't drive for toffee. Need to clean up this final sector. car just wandered off. Did its own thing for a minute. Let's go and save that best lap. 25.969. Does it save that as a 1-2? It does, yeah. Beat it by 0.03. 0.003. We didn't actually skip a place, but we're up to 8th. Happy days. Somebody said turn off traction. I think that's probably worth a little probable experiment, maybe. I just don't know whether it'll spin for fun. Lots of counter steer through there. That's not going to be the fastest of starts to a lap, is it? Yeah, I'm on ABS week. I've been since we talked about it. I went and changed it, yeah. It's much better on the week. Much better. Smooth circuit. Now that's a good line. Good run out through there. (26.2). 3, that'll do. That's a starter. Ooh. I think I can brake later into there. I think I'm a bit too... What's the word? Soft on the brakes, maybe? Bit frightened of locking them up, but I seem to be braking earlier and sort of being a bit frightened of the brakes. Never mind, we took the sign out. It's the other side of the track now. We've got another red lap to go at, so let's have a practice. Trying. Doesn't drive anything like my Mini. Front wheel drive car, big tyres. I haven't done a video yet on my wheel setting circum. No. I haven't. Probably something I do need to do. Just screwed that right at the last minute again. Let's go save that lap time. Up into the top 500, that was the target. Up into 6th above Rapid. 25.2. Yeah, would get us top 5. Well, maybe not. 25.1 would get us top 5, wouldn't it? I can tell you I use digits settings, but I then changed a few. I've got more wheel settings than Digit had in his video for his DD Plus, because I'm using the GT Extreme wheel and he's using a McLaren wheel, so I've got a few more changes in mind than he's got posted in his video. But it's basically Digit setup, which is essentially Sam's setup. Quite why I changed down to 3rd. You did the same. Yeah. Digit gives a really good explanation of what the settings are and what they do and how they make the effect. And if you have more or less of the setting, it explains what it is happens. Oh, that's stupid. No. I don't actually use different settings for different cars, but I do have different settings on my wheel. So I've got 5 default settings, 1 through 5, and I have 5 different setups. Effectively heavy, not so heavy, medium, light, and then really light with no force feedback. Effectively. But there are some changes and some different settings in there. But primarily I'm using S5, my 5th setup. That was rubbish. That was rubbish. Try again. We've been making some good gains in the latter part of the hour, so let's see if we can continue that and chase these two goes down a little bit. Yeah, now massive changes in my my brake setup. Brake setups are very difficult to describe in terms of what you've got, but on the DD Extreme wheel we've got an extra function that nobody else has: brake saturation. So I want to play with that brake saturation and see if I can get to a point where I don't activate the ABS. Not as good. Lost that in the last third. Miles away. Let's see if I can close up on that 0.37. See if we can find any speed by doing something different. That's a no. I don't want to change down to third. I've got to resist the change down to third. Good on you, Lee. Can't seem to gain on the Ghost at all. Don't slide out. Not getting turn one right now. Come on. Yep. Frustration station, that's where I'm at. Waiting for the next train to frustration stuff. Oh. You've just sent me a picture of your setup. Did you send it on MSN? Okay, Hitman, there we go. You alright with me posting that? Can I show everybody? Do you mind? I can show everybody if you don't mind. Do you mind? I'll let you answer before I click the button. appreciate you're about 10 seconds behind. I won't press the button if you don't want me to. Probably walked away from the PlayStation now and we're waiting for him. I'll let him respond before I show it. I'll retry. All four wheels on the grass then, that was a hypercut, that. And that was a messed up one. It's a very nice looking setup anyway, Sokum. It's one of those play seat looking seats by the looks of it. It's always struck me as what looks... You let me, okay, good. Give it 2 minutes, I'll get to a position where we can, and I will. I was all over the place. I reckon I can brake much later into there. I've messed up the lap, so happy days. So Sokum set up. Oh, that's my one. This one. Nice illumination. Like the guitar picture on the wall. Interesting seat. It's not a play seat setup at all. That's interesting. That's going to be a... Oh, what's that? Is that a GT Amiga? You think TC off is better? Well, we'll give that a go when I go back in. Is that a prime light? That's SOCOM's. That's a good looking setup, that. I like the illumination. Fanatec wheel. Hybrid. Hybrid has the slope, doesn't it? I don't reckon that's... It is a GT Amiga setup. You can tell by the blocks. Definitely a prime light. The seat's interesting as well. I'm looking for something different. Seat-wise. That'll be when we get back from the US. Right, so... Are we talking TC off? TC off is not my world. Oh, we've got somebody to ban. Let's have that. Let's have a ban. Let's ban somebody. Ban Trusted Gaming. You're gone. Good night. Take care. Adios. Yes, very nice little setup. Right, TC off then. Said TC off. We'll give it a go, and if it just wheel spins when I accelerate, I'll just throw my toys out the pram and say, not anymore. Car seems to have gone very, very quiet. No, I'm not banning you for nothing. I'll ban you later. Seem to be miles behind. Didn't get turn one right at all. It's a Six Sigma rig. Yeah, the shipping to various parts of places is very expensive with Widdowmaker at the minute. They can only ship to places where they've got stores, and anything out of the region is a little bit expensive. They've done a lot of work on trying to get the shipping cheaper to where they can ship to, and generally the shipping is favourable if you're in a favourable area. Anybody outside the zone isn't getting a benefit at the minute. But that's the UK. The UK has got terrible shipping costs. Since COVID, shipping costs from the UK to outside of the UK are really poor. I tried to send stuff to Australia selling on eBay, and 2.2 kilogram was £70. Ridiculous. It should only be like £6 to send to Australia. But I'm going to try and brake a little bit later and mess it up. I am braking at the right point, aren't I? I am. Yeah, since Brexit, yeah. No, not since Brexit at all. Not since Brexit at all. Since COVID. Brexit is not a penalty to the UK at all, and I'll have that stand. Brexit has been made a weapon of the anti-Brexiteers, and the UK economy without European Union will prosper. Unfortunately, those in Northern Ireland are going to suffer because, again, a weaponised element of Brexit has been used to penalise Northern Ireland. But again, that's another political point of view, and we'll leave that there. But if it wasn't for the opposition party that was, Brexit would be so much better. But people interfered with it and made it out to be a bad thing. Partly the European Union did that. Southern Ireland did that as well. And so did the Labour Party from the UK. Just to make it uncomfortable for everybody because they didn't want it. But if Brexit was allowed to be what it was, the UK would be in a far better position if it wasn't for people effing it up because they didn't want it. So it is what it is, and it's not Brexit that caused the problem, it's the people that interfered with it that caused the problem. The European Union realised that the UK would be better off without Europe. Then they didn't want that to happen. 25,397. The situation's about to get far worse for the UK anyway when Starmer gets involved and tries to resurrect the UK in Europe. And the things he'll have to do to get the UK back in are going to be far more detrimental to the UK economy than it is now. They've already trashed the UK economy, what they've done in the budget. And that's nothing to do with Brexit, that's the ideological thinking that this current government's got. Got to break it to fix it is what they're doing. They'll never admit to that. You arse, I lost all that coming through there. Tied the 2 lap times. I think Reform are gonna change the landscape of British politics, and I think they're gonna mean that the Labour Party are gonna be longer in power, because Reform's gonna split the Tory vote, and it'll bring some of the Labour vote, and it'll just mean the Labour Party stay in power because of the hung Parliament, and you'll get a liberal Labour government or a liberal Green government. Yes, he does. Starmer wants back into the EU. He wants it more than just trade deal. He wants them to create the laws for the UK, which is the reason I don't want to be in Europe, because I don't believe the European Union know what's best for the UK. I believe the UK knows what's best for the UK. If you listen to everybody in politics, whether that's the media or the politicians, they'll say the whole reason for Brexit was to stop immigration, and the British people didn't want the immigrants, and that is just not true. That's a story made up. If you've got people passionate about whether the UK is better itself on its own or better with Europe, my opinion is that the UK can make its own judgments and doesn't need to be told by Europe what it needs to do. I believe we should have our own independent parliament and not be forced by Europe to follow their rules. But hey ho. I agree that we need a kite mark system and that products and processes and services should follow a standard. But I don't believe the EU should determine whether I can fly a flag in my front garden or not. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think the Reform Party is bad for the UK. But I also think it's going to be good for the Conservatives, because it's either going to break them or make them. I don't think the Conservatives have got anywhere to go. They're in a political wilderness at the moment. And the Reform Party is going to break the Tories completely. And politics might turn some people off, I apologise, but it was there to be talked about. For me, Brexit was never about getting rid of immigrants and immigration. And the whole argument about immigrants and immigration is just a media way of attacking people. It's not anything constructive. The UK's always had an immigration problem, and it depends on what you want to look at it for. Those people that come to the UK want to come and earn and work and live, prosper. It's just a bad few that come here to run crime and do drugs, etc., or not work and take benefits. That's the ugly few that have made it work bad. Nobody wants them in the UK. Nobody, no matter who you are. What we want is the right people for the right jobs, doing the right thing at the right time when we need them. And at the moment, what the British government needs is bricklayers and carpenters and chippies to get these houses built that they're talking about. They basically want the migrant workforce that came from the UK to Germany back in the 80s. Alvida St. Pet. What they want is brickies and from Poland and Germany to come over, or those people have got building experience. If you've got that kind of thing on the go, you should be able to get in. Well, unfortunately, Germany, being the country that it is, has run the EU for 35, 40 years. And it's done very, very well out of it. Now that the UK has left the European Union, Germany's got to cover that. They tried to cover the costs and spread the costs throughout Europe, but nobody else can cover what the UK was putting in. You know, poor old Germany, because it was in the position it was in, has now had to step up and do it all. France will never do it because the people of France will never let that happen. Italy struggles to survive year after year, so it can't do anything with it. A country like Croatia that Dorian's come from over to Germany is beautifully affluent as a independent nation. They've joined the EU. They've done very, very well to go that far with the small population that they've got, but they're going to suffer massively being in the EU. They think they're going to gain, but they're going to suffer massively because the contribution to the pot that they've got to make. They will get massive benefits out of it, and that's what the Labour Party want from the EU. They want the benefits, and to them the benefits far outweigh the costs. But I look at the costs and think, why are we even doing that? Why are we even going there? What has that got to do with us? And I suppose that's the open mind thinking I don't have. I don't want to be worrying about the effect of people population into Hungary with their open borders policy. That's Hungary's problem. And that's really closed-minded of me, but at the end of the day, why would the UK put money into a bordering country to the edge of Europe? That's got to be their problem, and that's exactly what France thinks about the UK when it comes to migrants wanting to get into the UK. They don't want to come into France. Yes, we do. Politics is stupid. I think there was a quote on Facebook tonight from John Lennon saying, we have crazy politicians doing crazy things, doing things that nobody wants, and they're only trying to do what's best for what they think's right. And normally it's for them to gain at the end of the day anyway. They'll try and sell it to you that the country will be better, but they're only trying to win the next election and give themselves a job. That's all they're trying to do. I think I should be so much faster with TC off. I'm just trying to thread that lap together. 20 minutes to go. But hey, politics, it is what it is. Good question. Hey, Kyra. Yeah. I don't know what Hungary's doing. I don't know what Poland's doing. Everybody is scrabbling to make out that they're going to be not badly off when Russia attacks Europe. Because that's next. Unfortunately. The crazy man will get crazier. No immigrants. See, I think that's harsh. I want the immigrants. And I want the immigrants with skills and the ability to contribute. Which is exactly what you're doing, Dorian. You're contributing to the society you live and work in. And that's what I want from immigrants. I want people to be able to travel. I want people to be able to go where they want to do. do what they want to do, enjoy what they want to do, but I also want them to contribute in terms of activities and financially. You know, we're all going to pay the taxes, do the job, work, shit the bed. Exactly. People that don't do nothing, that's the bit that breaks the process. And it's the laws in the UK that are affected by that kind of thing. So in the UK, let's take an example. I'm not being racist with this. This is just an example. If you come to the UK from India, which has an agreed trade deal, where if you have a skill of a certain type, etc., you can come to the UK and you can come and work. You just have to go through a small process, immigration process, to confirm your skills, confirm your ability, have a job. Absolutely, but you've done your contribution at that point, haven't you? You've contributed and done what you need to. The bit from India is the fact that you can then bring your family. So if you come from India, get a job, you're working, that's absolutely fine. You can bring your wife and your children, which is absolutely fine. Your wife can then bring her mother. She can bring her father. You can bring your mother and your father. And they are of an age, in their late 60s, where they don't work. But they should become... Oh, flick to death. They should be coming with the ability to be able to contribute, and but they don't. So, and I've lived there, I know what it's like. I've lived in a part of Blackburn and a part of Burnley where there's society there that do not speak English. They do not contribute. They don't go out of their zone. They've turned parts of Burnley and parts of Blackburn into absolute dumps because they don't live the English life. They've turned it into Little India. And forgive me, Little India has become very, very backward, and it's wrong. And you get all sorts of trouble in there. You get crime, you get the hatred crime as well, because the not so polite UK guys go and trash the place around them, and they don't want them there, and it's horrible. It's a horrible situation because the only people that have made that happen are the government by letting it happen. I'm not saying it's the fault of the people that come in. They're doing what they know best. They're living their life. They've brought their own bit of India to the UK, and that's absolutely admirable. But not when it doesn't fit with society. It's just wrong. But the British government have let that happen, and they're calling that... They label it as multicultural and ethnicity, and they attach all sorts of labels to it, and it's beautiful to see, because it's great to see how other people live their life. But not with open sewers down the centre of blooming streets and then complain about it. You know, throw your rubbish out in the streets, etc. Because that's what blooming happens. I've seen it. Yep, and that's what we want everybody to do. We want everybody to come and work and live, pay their taxes and contribute. And hey-ho. I'm probably going way off the subject, but... probably gone a little bit too far. But if they can find a happy way for the UK to be part of Europe, I'm all for it. But I don't want Europe to dictate how we do our bits and pieces. I want us to create our own laws for our own country. Now I kind of short shifted out of that last corner. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought process, is that the EU would split up. I think it's just going to go through I don't really know whether it will break up. I just think it's going to go through a change period. I think you'll end up with core Europe and a second tier Europe. And that'll cause its own problems. Like the US has got its own problems. They don't know who to elect. They don't know which crazy man to have next. It'd be interesting to see who comes for the next election after Trump and after Joe Biden, because the next parliament in the US is open bidding, isn't it? It's open season on whoever comes and who doesn't. So it's got to be all fresh, hasn't it? Just suppose whether you get a Trumper or not in the next. Oh, we missed that breaking up, didn't we? I think the US is going to flip-flop from left to right, right to left, left to right for the next couple of generations. I think it's quite even split over what people want. Who will be the next politician or TV pundit to gain power in the US? Yeah, not care about politics. It's a good ambition. I only see my wealth coming from a lottery win, and that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Unless I suddenly develop 3 seconds a lap and become Super Sam number 2. Politics is a horrible game no matter which way you play it. There can't always be a winner in politics. There's always a winner and a loser. No matter which way it cuts up. That was annoying. Didn't get the car slowed down enough to stop the slide. Transferring to TC off has made me feel like the car. Oh, it's Gran Turismo 7, my friend. It's a weekly time trial. Yeah, the idea is that you put a fastest lap in against a set time. It's not a set time, really. That's a bad description. If you can get within 3% of the fastest time set down, you'll get a gold. Silver for something like 4% and bronze for 5%, whatever it is. It's good that we can all have a mature discussion about politics without retorting to slamming each other around. Good night, Kara. Or Kara, whatever. Oof, I hate that. Yeah, sorry, Lee. Sorry. Got 10 minutes left. One more lap. About 4 more laps to see if we can put it in. I'm going to transfer back to TC off because I don't feel the car is as directional with TC off. I'm going to put TC back on because I think I can steer the car through the corners better with it. Just saying goodnight to Dorian. I didn't see him say goodnight there. Sorry, Dorian. Good night, my friend. You take care. Have a good week. I didn't see him saying goodnight. Just got to get used to the slide. Yeah, so this time trial is about getting within 3% of the fastest time to get a gold rating. And I think I'm in the top 500 drivers. Which for an average fat grey-haired old dude that was born in the boomer years has never competitively raced per se in a real car, and came to gaming quite late because we never had this kind of thing as a kid. And I'm not a controller guy. The car is all over the show. Got to get used to it swinging around. I think I've done alright for top 500 on this test. You've only played the Forza titles, so I've got the Forza titles as well. And I'm shit at this. And I find the Forzas are very good for gameplay, in my opinion. The racing side of it is not my cup of tea. Forza Horizons has always seemed to go for the open world sort of situation, and I can't handle it. It's too much for my brain to deal with. But I buy them and play them and try them and take them off my hard drive when I'm done with them. Yeah, the motorsport I haven't got on with this time. Even the last motorsport one I didn't really get on with. I'm not getting on with this one now. Yeah, Gran Turismo for me has always been where it's at. I feel the game has lost its way a little bit since it lost its FIA rating. The fact that they haven't repaired or fixed the online situation for penalties has kind of frustrated my brain a bit. I'm finding this tremendously difficult now. Now I've turned traction control off. Sorry, on again. Why can't I drive with TC on? Somebody said put ASM on. Let's see if that does anything. Rock and roll racing in the SNES. The SNES passed me by. That was something I've generally not. Never had a SNES. Wreckfest. Haha. Wreckfest is a game that came out a little while ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and it's a demolition derby, effectively. American style cars in a demolition derby where you have track racing, dirt racing, oval racing, and then you have the demolition derby style where you beat each other up until you're dead, until the car doesn't go no more. And we occasionally have some I think we've done it twice in the past now, where we have a demo derby day and we do Wreckfest. I think it's the Wreckfest 2 was due out January. It's now been put back to the summer. But I can honestly assure you Wreckfest is a good laugh. It is very good with friends, and we're going to do some of that again. We haven't done it in a while because we only got 4 or 5 people playing, but the more people that are interested on the channel and we can get a lobby of 10 or 12 going maybe, it might be worthwhile. The only thing I can advise is if you've got a direct drive wheel, be very careful. because you get the full-on wreck effect. If you can find it on special, if you can find it on a discount over Christmas, I would recommend it highly. It's a good single-player game as well. You can get into it, you can enjoy it. Wilkie enjoys it as well. And there was a good 5 or 6 of us that had a crack at it last time. And it'll keep you busy. It'll, single-player wise, it will definitely give you something. So, do I like the feel that ASM has given us here? I've got a counter steer and ASM on, but no TC. It tries to correct the car and keep it going in a straight line. Oh, for flip's sake. We'll call it a shot there. I think I'm done with 3 minutes to go. There's no one more laps for me on this one. 269 miles just for the day on this. 494th. 6th on the friends list. We only had to go another 10th to really make it up into the top 5. You all know we have a very, very strong friends list. It is intensely strong. And if we look down to where the gold is, it's like 47th, 42nd here. 42nd place, so 42 on the friends list. Yeah, the only thing I found ASM do on that last couple of laps was stop that massive hysteresis. It kind of kept the car a little bit straight, but it wasn't for me. ASM no good. But that's where we are, 494. So as the week draws to a close, it's work tomorrow morning. Tuesday night, final of the GR4s. I'll announce the GR3 final scores on Tuesday. I'm not going to do it before then because one over the racer in, and I'd like to big up Big Popper some more for winning. But best recorded time there, a 1:25.3. Target time for gold, a 1:26.7. Let's just have a look, shall we? Wreckfest. Just show you what it is. Why not? Wreckfest is there. I need to insert the disc, but that's Wreckfest. I think there's a version you can buy where you get all the add-ons. Within the price. I think it was only cost me like £6 to get all the add-ons. I already bought the game because I buy everything on disc, so I don't buy anything digitally. So I want to have the thing to put on the shelf. So if you can get the version that gets all the add-ons as well, you'll get the ability to jump up the league, jump up the rankings. But the one thing you need to do is you need to play in single player before you play online, because you need your single player cars to be able to play online. If you don't have them, you just get basic cars and you die pretty quickly. Good night, Silver Surfer. So with that, folks, we have 2 streams left. We have, what day do we have? We have Tuesday and Thursday. And Thursday is going to be open lobby Gran Turismo. The final farewell for 2024. The last one for me because I'm away on vacation, as you know. Have I mentioned I'm going on holiday? Did I say anything? No. Okay. But, folks, have a fantastic rest of day. If you're over in the US, enjoy it. If you're in the UK and Europe, good night and have a good sleep. And we'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Goodbye for now. See you soon.